Welcome to Lesson 18. Before we begin, a quick note about this course. These lessons are designed to be listened to in the background while you work inside DxO PhotoLab on your own computer. Think of them as guided audio lessons that you can follow along at your own pace. If you prefer more visual screen-recorded tutorials, you'll find plenty of those on my channel as well. Also, DxO PhotoLab is free to use for 30 days, giving you more than enough time to work through this course and see if it's a good fit for your workflow. If you decide it is, I'm offering 15% off DxO software, and you'll find that link in the description below. Now, make sure you have DxO PhotoLab open. In this lesson, we're going to bring everything together and look at a simple editing workflow. Over the last 17 lessons, we've explored the individual tools inside DxO PhotoLab. Now, it's time to understand the order in which to use them. Having a consistent workflow not only speeds up your editing, but also helps you produce more consistent results. Let's walk through my recommended workflow. First, start in Photo Library. Review your photographs and use the star rating system to identify the images you want to edit. There's no point spending time editing a photograph that isn't one of your strongest images. Next, move into Customize. If DxO asks you to download an optical module for your camera and lens, always accept it. This allows PhotoLab to automatically correct distortion, vignetting, and lens sharpness before you begin editing. If you're working with a high ISO image, this is also the point where I recommend enabling DeepPRIME noise reduction. Starting with the cleanest possible raw file gives you the best foundation for the rest of your edit. Now, move on to exposure. Adjust the overall brightness of the image, then fine-tune the highlights and shadows if they're needed. If the photograph contains bright skies or deep shadows, use smart lighting to help balance the image naturally. Next, correct your white balance so the colors look accurate and natural. Once the image feels balanced, you can begin adding a little more depth using contrast and, where appropriate, ClearView Plus. Remember that both tools work best with subtle adjustments. Now, move to the color palette and use HSL if you want to refine individual colors, such as making a blue sky slightly deeper, or adjusting the brightness of green foliage. If the composition can be improved, use the crop tool to remove distractions and strengthen the framing. Once your global adjustments are complete, use local adjustments to fine-tune specific parts of the image. You might brighten a face, darken a sky, or draw attention to your main subject. Finally, evaluate the image at around 100% magnification and make any sharpening adjustments using lens sharpness if required. At this point, your photograph should be complete and ready for export. One thing I've learned over the years is that you don't need to use every tool on every photograph. Some images might only need exposure and white balance. Others may benefit from a more detailed edit. The workflow is there to give you structure, not to force you into making unnecessary adjustments. For this lesson, choose one of your favorite raw files and work through each of these steps in order. Take your time and think about why you're making each adjustment. As you become more familiar with DxO PhotoLab, you'll naturally develop your own workflow, but this provides an excellent starting point. The main thing I want you to take away from this lesson is that a simple, logical workflow will almost always produce better results than jumping randomly between editing tools. In our final lesson, we'll look at exporting your finished photographs and preparing them for social media, printing and sharing with the world. Don't forget to subscribe to Simon DxO for more tutorials. And if there's something you'd like me to cover in a future lesson, leave a comment below and I'll do my best to help. I'll see you in the final lesson.